Oh my goodness.
Look at that penguin from 321 Penguins blast in space and tell me that's not what it looks like it's
I've.
saying.
Oh no, absolutely.
Hey kid,
The,
you ready to
we
rip some balls?
we got a special drug here. The drug is called science. Yeah.
I also thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna say cyanide.
The drug is called cyanide. It tastes like almonds and you won't feel your tongue after a moment.
Nor anything else.
Mostly your tongue.
First your tongue, then the world. Yeah, I know what I said.
Yeah. The fuck is the Dead Sea Squirrels?
What?
It's a book series called The Dead Sea Squirrels.
Okay, I
Huh.
just thought you fucked up saying the Dead Sea Scrolls.
No, it's what I said.
What? Stupid. Like, I mean, I guess. Whatever.
Why do they
I
always endeavor to make the female animals conventionally attractive? It should just looks like the other male animal.
Because why not?
Why does the female squirrel have a pearl necklace?
Cause you gotta know it's a lady.
Why does it look like a reincarnated Wilma?
That's what I was thinking, honestly. I was just like, is that Wilma and Fred?
Definitely.
Excuse me.
Okay, but I already got all the link bombing done. So if we want to just get into it, we can.
Yeah. Introduce yourselves. I don't have an intro written, so we're gonna be just jumping into things after you introduce yourselves.
Hello, everybody. I'm Armored Hunter. The silly fool that causes us to get into some of these messes and waste a lot of time.
He's not wrong.
Stop talking. Stop talking to so many people.
I like to talk.
Hello, everybody. I am the Danny Boop. I'm the one who do the strum and just yeah.
Actual Avengers penguins.
I am Feltros. I play the Felzy. And I think I'm out of mana. I might need to go rest.
Soju.
It's accurate, I suppose.
I didn't get a fancy. I didn't get a fancy thing in the clock tower.
I'm sorry. You use guns. I've given you a fancy sword before, and you've never used it since.
And I will continue to explain that if I have to use that, we're in a very bad situation.
You're not wrong. Doesn't change the fact. You have a weapon type that's very niche in this world.
No, it's fine. I have a fancy gun. I just can't use it often.
Yeah, it's effective when you do, though.
Yeah. I shoot people into skeletons. I will offer nothing else on the matter.
Alrighty then.
I still have the long rifle on my character sheet.
You shouldn't. You don't have that anymore.
And I just got the math, like the for the button.
Oh, you have the roll for it?
Yeah. Ship
It's not the
log.
worst thing to keep note of, but you don't need that anymore. Anyways, hello everyone, I'm Ash, the DM. We're going to be starting off today's session by going over a bit of a mechanical change that we've had in the interim between last session and this session. So, just to explain things as thoroughly as possible, previously we were using something referred to as the Talent Tree homebrew system. And while it was interesting, it was making it kind of complicated for me to remember what everyone had as abilities and track player statistics, so I can properly balance everything that they're getting into. So, in the interim between last session and this one, we have done some remodeling to characters and switched back over to the standard feat system. Not much has really changed. I think most people were able to get back pretty much the same abilities that they did have.
You.
Some exceptions, obviously, because they don't exactly word the same way. And we did make some homebrew and mechanic switching things to other homebrew, just to keep things running properly. So, I guess let's just go down the horn and actually say what your character now has for their abilities for mechanical purposes.
Okay. After review of what Dravinci had, as well as the homebrew class that he is, and the reason for the choices that I made when originally making the character, he now has, instead of having the talent tree features of the two-weapon fighting, which allowed him to use two-weapon fighting as a part of his attack action instead of as a bonus action.
Sorry.
And the reason for that being because of how Crescendo was worded. He doesn't have that anymore, so he doesn't have his ability to do two attacks and then use his bonus action. No, and he does. He does, however, have the features Warcaster to replace his half-hand casting, so he can still shoot spells while he's got a weapon in each hand. Because he was variant human to begin with, he now has resilient wisdom. It was really up in the air whether to go strength or wisdom. And his fourth level ASI didn't change at all. And there were a few changes to the homebrew, specifically Crescendo triggering on a attack on his turn rather than specifying the attack action, as well as some of the conditions regarding ceaseless dance. Those are the main changes for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so we switched up the way the homebrew was worded a little bit to try to keep things running smoother because we were already doing it wrong this entire time. So we just sort of adapted it to fit the way that we were already making it run.
Yeah. Whoops.
Alright then. Dadney, you would be next, because I believe that's everything Dravinci had change.
Yep.
Alright. Also, sorry everyone ahead of time. I've been coughing constantly here lately.
No worries.
I've had the worst tickle in my throat, and it won't fucking go away.
It's all good.
gonna take a Brillo pad to the inside of my tonsils.
Don't do that.
Tasty.
For me, really not a whole lot changed with Morrigan. A lot of her, like, the Mage Slayer aspect she had from the talent tree system, there's a feat that just straight up covers that, so she has the Mage Slayer feat. And, Ash, if you could fully explain the thing we're doing with feats and ASIs now, because I don't think
Yeah.
that got touched on.
Yeah, we're essentially doing what we previously were doing with the talent trees, which was because with the talent tree system, it removed the aspect of whenever you would take talents or certain features, some of them had associated skill points to go with them. I edited that homebrew slightly to make it to where whenever I didn't really edit the homebrew, but I adapted it so that whenever they would take talent points, they would also still gain a single point in ASIs. I've still done that with them now switching over to features. However, it works in the sense that they can either choose to take an ASI, just straight up to skill or to stat points added to them, or no matter what feature they take, they still always gain one ASI. Either the feature's associated ASI, or one of their choice if they take one that did not have an associated ASI with it. Which is frankly overpowered, but I also have gotten to the point of not caring. I'm going to start throwing stronger things at them.
Yeah, and there is also the thing of we were basically allowed to take a starting feat.
Yeah.
And so I just took the Mage Slayer one to be the starting feat, which that replaced the talent tree stuff from Morgan. And to keep up with her other stuff she had from the talent tree, which was really the only stuff I wanted to keep from it, and it gives other bonuses, is for the level 4, I took the Warcaster feat and kept the singular point that I put into Constitution at that point there.
Yeah.
So not much has changed with Morrigan, it's just different feats to take care of what she had from the talent tree.
Yeah. Alright then. Next would be you, Failsy.
Failsy literally didn't change.
Yeah, all the stuff you took from the talent trees was pretty much an exact convert from the features and such, wasn't it?
Yeah, if anything, Failsy got stronger.
I mean, you still need to explain what you took.
Originally, she was going down the arcane path, or the arcane tree, which gave her half of Ritual Caster, allowing her to take a book, but she can't take more spells later, unless she takes another perk. And with the change, she just got the rest of Ritual Caster.
Yeah. You got the Ritual Caster feat, so you now have your spell book that you can add more spells to. What is your Ritual Caster? What's the class your Ritual Caster book is tied to, by the way?
Wizard.
Figured as much, but I still had to ask. So remember, anytime you get a ritual spell, it has to be from the wizard spell list. That pretty much covers all of them, but still keep it in mind.
Yeah, or at least most of them.
Wizards stole most of the ritual spells.
I think, yeah, the only ones they don't have is like ceremony.
There's a couple like special ones, and there's some new ones in the
Exactly.
new books that they don't get, but
Yeah, for the most part, they have all the rituals. Most of the relevant ones that are general purpose.
Mhm.
Detect magic, comprehend languages, shit like that.
I'm still salty that they took away all of the spirit summons from Sorcerer.
Well, we can work on that for the future. Anyways, so that you took Ritual Caster. What else did you take?
2 points in charisma, and that's it.
So just a flat ASI. All right.
Literally nothing changed.
Yeah, fair enough. And now finally, Methosia.
Okay, so you know how I really like guns, right? I have more
I have a
guns.
I have passing knowledge of your interest in gun.
So for first level ASI, I took the gunner feat, which effectively is +1 dexterity, and I ignored loading properties of firearms, which doesn't matter because my weapons have reload scores. But I can also shoot within 5 feet without having disadvantage, which is for the most part, why I wanted that. And then for 4th level, I took sharpshooter. Before, I didn't have the ability to take the minus to hit for bonus to damage, but now I do.
Yeah.
So now I can do even more fucking damage, like I needed that.
Yeah, but don't forget, whenever you do the sharpshooter thing, you have to declare that before making your roll.
Yeah, I know. It's just like my brand.
Yeah. It's just a thing to keep in mind. You can't just make a really high roll and just be like, but sharpshooter though.
No, yeah. Oh, I know how that works.
I will stomp on your toes if you do.
No,
Just
thank
crush
you.
them into the ground like we're in Kung Fu Hustle.
I'm going to pretend I know what that means.
It's a movie. That was a Kung Fu movie. Where one of the moves used by a character was referred to as I believe it was referred to as the toe stomp. And it literally just pancaked people's feet.
Gross.
Yeah. Alrighty then. The demons are trying to get out.
Nope.
Hmm.
They do that sometimes.
Yeah, they try. I don't let them. That's probably what the tickle in my throat is. They're trying to climb up. Anyways, so getting more into things now, though. We are picking back up more or less where we left off, with you guys finally getting that first breath of fresh air after being in the stale, slightly metallic tasting air with a tinge of blood and a little bit of acid that was the clock tower. So you're stepping out of it now at this suspiciously placed door that was not here previously. It's just right at the ground level of where the base of the tower was. No weirdly precarious climb to deal with.
That's really fucking convenient.
Oh. At least we're out.
I mean, yeah, but
Where was this door?
Oh,
Oh, hello. Inspection
hello.
complete.
Well, how did it go?
Numerous demons have been found in it that had to be exterminated, and unfortunately,
Oh,
damages occurred to the clock tower, and those will need repairs.
I could tell. It suddenly stopped moving. If there were demons... If there were demons afoot, though, I can't say I'm too surprised.
Demons, Jim.
yeah, they
Oh,
did a real number on the place.
So you're saying that they were all dealt with by you and your group?
At least the ones that we could find. But we are going to submit our findings to the Emerald Bastion, and A crew will likely come through to clean up of any additional unpleasantness in here.
I see, I see.
By
Well,
that, he means the
very well.
blood.
Blood, you say?
Yes, like a literal metric ton.
Mm,
We don't need to get into the details.
I see, I see. Reminds me of the battlefield back in the day.
Just little old lady smile.
Yes, like a literal battlefield, but compressed into one building, and it's just meat everywhere.
Ah, reminds me of the battlefield.
That is significantly more concerning.
You're a military man, you know how that goes.
Yeah, doesn't make it any less concerning.
Well, some of us old folk used to serve. How do you think I'm still so strong in my old age?
Potions of giant strength?
No. Well, I believe you can buy those over in the corner store. They sell to the
Anyway.
construction workers. Oh, listen
No.
to me prattle on. You said you have a report to go make.
Yes, we do need to
You
report.
also all smell
our findings.
terrible.
And a shower is definitely due after this.
Alright then, dearies. I'd recommend you get yourselves washed up and then go make your report. I'll make sure nothing comes crawling out of this place.
She just smiles and starts slowly, one shaky step at a time, oh so slowly, making her way towards that door that just opened to the side of it where you guys exited from.
And do be careful. There are numerous traps that have been set up inside.
Mm-hmm.
She continues forward, not looking back.
Okay, let's get ourselves cleaned up, and then I can go and file the report, unless any of you would wish to come along.
I mean, I probably should.
There is information that is related to you. It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd probably be best if we all went, but since, well, Dravenche, Brimstone, you two would probably be the two best to relay the information, and then Felzy and I could just give our thoughts on the matter, and then be done with everything, and we can go sleep.
Yeah.
I want that part, the sleep part.
Oh, I do as well. But let's. You'll be freshened up after a good bath.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is an interesting point of order. It's currently dark outside, so you actually don't know how long you were in the tower.
It wasn't dark when we went in, was it?
It was like,
It was about
We kept
midday.
I think there's some weird time fuckery shenanigans.
I don't know.
Of course there was.
One thing you could say for absolute certain is that you weren't in there for hours.
Weren't we?
You were in there for
We were
a
in there-
while, but not long enough for it to be dark.
I remember we had like 2 short rests.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is like a couple of
went from,
hours,
like-
but we weren't. Yeah.
Yeah, it should
probably
only
spent, like,
only
3
be like
hours.
5 in the afternoon now.
Revenge is just gonna check his pocket watch.
You look at your pocket watch. It is currently displaying that it is almost 9.
Oh, well then, it is rather late to... What do you...
Sleep in bath then.
I don't know, Brimstone, how urgent do you think this report should be?
I mean, the main problem's been resolved. Probably wait, but
Thank God.
probably wait till morning.
Raynham's an old man. He needs to sleep too.
And he's also a god. I don't know if they necessarily need it like we do. I don't know how that works, you know.
You don't think you've ever known Granum to sleep?
Although we don't live with it as well, so
Alright, so you guys who want to just go get cleaned up, then take a long rest?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Doing so is not difficult. There are plenty of places you can get bathed up, either by going just to your hotel, as it is a nicer one, does have bathing operations, or you could always go back to that one spa that you had previously been to.
Going back to the hotel would probably be best, especially for fails each. You would basically get out of the bath and then flop into bed.
Yeah.
I have
Probably.
exactly like 1 spell slot left.
And you have extra spell slots too.
And
Alrighty
no,
then.
and no mana left, like no source points.
All right, so no need to roleplay that unless you guys want to have a moment. You can get bathed up, clean, little bit rested, get some food into you that's complimentary per the extravagant hotel room you have. It's interesting to not have food cooked by Lee for a change. Not sure if it's as good. It's missing that Lee touch.
It's missing the touch of dubious magic.
Dubious magic that makes it taste weirdly good. Like
but also that
concerningly good.
But also that he'll adamantly refuse exists.
It's the magic of
And-
passion.
Turns out he's using MSG, magically supplied goodness.
Fuck off.
How long have you been holding on to that one?
I only just thought of it.
I don't. Fair enough.
I know
Alrighty then.
he's been enchanting us this entire time.
I mean, he has been. He's such a charming boy. You adopted an NPC. Of course he's been enchanting you the entire time. Anyways. So unless there's any moments that's wanting to be had, you guys can just have your long rest and we pick back up in the morning.
Yeah.
While Fails is having her bath, she'll also give Animus a wash,
Alright then.
like grime that's probably been built up in the clock tower.
Less grime and more just age. Danny, are you wanting to do anything? Because I don't know if I just not hearing you or you just didn't say anything.
I was just letting others speak first.
Okay. Do you want to do anything before the night's over?
Morgan would just like to talk to Dravinche for a moment.
All right then. So while Failsy's getting Adamus washed up and Brimstone is eating some snacks, just decompressing from the battle, you two can meet up.
Yeah, Da Vinci probably after getting a bath would quickly retreat to his quarters, set the rotor of return down on the table, and just kind of stare at it, contemplating when Morrigan comes on in.
Yeah, she just enter quietly, close the door.
There's also a pile of papers all over everything.
I see you're still doing all that note taking.
Sorry, what?
You ought to give that a rest for a little bit at least.
Yeah, I do need to write up a report and letters, so I'll rest after that.
Fair enough. Before we did
So
this...
what do I... Sorry.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, I was just gonna say, well, what do I owe the pleasure of your company?
I wanted to ask you about a few things. I noticed your mood was rather down before we started doing the thing with the clock tower. And Necessity had mentioned you saw them and traded something. I wonder if that had to do with why you were seeming to not be feeling your best before we started this endeavor for the day.
Oh, it was nothing. A trifle in the long run.
May I insight?
Absolutely.
Damn it. Well, if you're sure. Did somebody, like, insult you in the market then? Is that why you were feeling so down in the dumps? Or seemed to be?
No, um... I was just in a bit of a foul mood, and yes, I did have to do a trade with Necessity. That did foul my mood for a while, but like I said, it's not going to impact things in the long run. As he swings his arm and accidentally knocks over some papers. Oh, sorry.
Let me help you with that. Don't know how you want them organized, but I can at least help you get them off the floor.
He hesitates as you pick them up, and they're just a bunch of very different bird designs of birds birds that are in different shapes, different breeds altogether. You got ones that look more like a hummingbird, and others that look like a bigger, more substantial bird in different poses. Measurements laid out all across them, outlining angles, lengths, the views from top, bottom, sides, the location and color scheme of different birds, and the what colors would be on different parts of the bird. And there's just
actually-
a pile.
This is a note. Did Morrigan ever see your previous work? I feel like she might have been the only one who got to see it.
I don't remember, actually.
I think she might have, but I can't remember rightly myself. I guess it would be up to Armored to decide if Morgan would have seen it or not.
I feel like I remember her seeing it when she was talking to him when you guys got out of the Mountain of Reflection.
No, I think she's seen it in passing. Trevenche
I
being looking it over.
Yeah, and I also remember Brimstone and Trevenche having a conversation about it, but that's not relevant for right now. So that might be one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. So, I will actually give you this, Danny, and by extension, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan made a deal with Necessity previously. You know how those deals work. And you've seen how Trevenche reacted to other things. Even failing that insight with that score, you can kind of piece together what is being talked about, because as you're looking at these designs, even you are getting this weird sensation of you're remembering something, and you know you've seen it, and it's reminding you of something. But no matter what, you can't summon the memory forth into your mind. And it's almost frustrating.
Is that enough for her to kind of put pieces together that these drawings would be related to what Trevenche would have traded?
I mean, that's up to you if Morgan would put that together. But it's giving you that same weird flash in your mind of, this is reminding me of something, but I can't put my tongue on what. I can't put my finger on it, not my tongue on it. I'm good at phrases.
It's alright.
Yes, just lick the memory.
I was getting the thing of it's on the tip of your tongue and put my finger on it mixed up.
It's all good.
But yeah. Both of those expressions together.
Yeah. Just... And she just seeing all these bird drawings and that information coming to her, she's like, are you sure what you traded wasn't important? And she's like giving him a very pointed look when she says that.
Um, he, trying to play it off, will calmly take the papers from your hands. Yes, I'm sure. These are just me trying to plan out my next design.
Okay, just... If you wanted to talk about it, I'm willing to listen, but... If not, I'll leave you to it.
He pauses for a minute. You all right? I did trade something. And what it was substantial enough for necessity to give me the far gear.
Oh.
He'll start collecting some of the papers around the room, trying to organize them. And they offered me something else. Something that I did not take.
I'm assuming that's what
You
was
forget it?
mentioned.
Yes, to forget about it completely. And all the attachment that I had to it. A tempting offer, if I say so. But it didn't feel right. But here I'm just rambling. You should rest up for the night.
So should you. That thing we fought there at the end, it seemed like it hit you harder than it hit me. Hopefully whatever it was it did to us will just go away after a good night's sleep.
I do hope so as well.
Alright, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, and Morgan?
Yeah?
Thanks.
Just smile at him. You're welcome. She'll just... Oh, go ahead.
Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Maybe. Only if you're up for it.
He'll give her a light nod.
And she'll just leave the room.
All right. Well, unless there's anything else, I wait cautiously for answers.
No.
Nah, Felzy is way too tired.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like Fails is like half falling asleep while bathing. Or she's just asleep in the bath.
Even all the naps in the tower wasn't enough for her.
No, if anything, that made it worse because you got to sleep for like 2 minutes and then you got slapped awake. That never helps.
No.
All right. You
No,
fell
it doesn't.
asleep so many times in the tower. It's just kept affecting you.
Nope.
Alrighty then. With that, then, you all head to bed for the night. Get yourselves a fine rest in. And find yourselves awake the next morning.
Morning. That was all
Yep.
bouncy.
One long rest for you all.
Woo!
That was all full of beans.
Yes, your beans refuel. Something does feel off when you all wake up, though. You don't really know how to place it.
Do I need to make a perception check?
No. Just something feels strange.
Do I smell magic?
Ugh. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
The best way I could describe this feeling for you all, for something to compare it to, it's like that heavy feeling of it being really humid outside, but there's no humidity around you. It's just like the air feels heavy.
I hope that the town doesn't have too rude an awakening, realizing that the clock tower is no longer working.
Oh, well, either way, we still have to go talk to Greenham.
Yep, I've laid out my findings in a report. He holds up a couple of sheets of paper that he's put into an envelope, outlining the areas that we went through, the events that we saw, as well as going through everything I could find in this book. So let's fetch Brimstone and head to the Emerald Bastion.
Yeah.
Based on context, I'm going to say that Brimstone probably stayed with you all last night,
Yeah.
simply because wanted to all head out
Yeah, we
together in
already
the
did.
morning.
Yeah,
Oh,
that makes
fair
sense.
enough.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I retreated to my room, so I didn't know if you were staying with us or not.
Made more sense. I mean, if we're all heading that way anyways.
Fair enough. Well, let's make our way there and hopefully shake up some of this dreary atmosphere.
Yeah.
We'll never at the clock tower.
Fair enough.
Alright then. You all make your way out of the hotel. It's a little overcast today. Probably the first really bad day of weather you've really had in the Emerald Bastion. But y'all just want to head straight to the Bastion?
Yep. I think. Well, Da Vinci will take a look towards the clock tower if he see. To see if there's anything going on over there while they're making their way to the bastion.
Alrighty then. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception
Everyone? Or
10.
Anyone who wants to can, if you want to look, just generally look around.
Yeah.
Might as
Why
well.
am I to GM? God damn it.
I'll accept it anyways.
Okay.
4.
Myth rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
This feels weird. I'm on alert now.
Is Failsy gonna roll one?
Yeah, I lost the page completely.
Ah.
Oh, I remember what
Well,
it was. I
fine.
was the GM.
8. Belzy's trying to get the doll to stay put in her bag. It's sort of half hanging out.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because while you were washing it last night, the cloth that was wrapped around it and filled with like old rotted stuffing just sort of started disintegrating to reveal the sort of like ball jointed doll figurine that was actually underneath it.
I really need to get you some new coverings.
It just looks like a generic genderless ball jointed doll now.
Stop fussing!
Basically like a artist figurine.
Pretty much, yeah. This is the most bizarre thing. You're looking around. It's weird. Maybe it's just the clouds, or maybe you're just not really awake right now. You don't see the clock tower. Brimstone. There is no clock tower. You know exactly where it should be. And you're looking directly and it's where it should be, and it's gone.
Huh.
And you do see just... Brimstone's really the only one that notices this part. You do see that there does seem to be a crowd in that direction.
Well, that's not disconcerting.
What is it?
Huh?
Lyle just doesn't see the clock tower.
I thought it was the overcast playing tricks on my eyes.
No, it just ain't fucking there.
Oh god, not again.
From the vantage point we have over here, it just
Which
seems like it's gone.
I mean, you could see the clock tower from pretty much any position in the city. Like, barring being between buildings, obviously. Like, if you're in
Okay.
a thoroughfare portion of the city, like you guys currently are, you're in the main street of the city. Because your hotel is
Okay.
just off the main street of the city.
Right.
It's just not there.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it was like ripped away or anything. It just like it vanished.
Well, you can't see the base of it from your position. Normally, you'd always be able to see the
Okay.
top of it from anywhere in the city.
Okay. We should probably go look at that. That might change the contents of your report.
Uh,
Or at least provide us information that we should give if we can find anything.
part of me feels like that's not the best idea, but I'll follow your judgment.
I mean, it's not like we did anything to make it. Well,
Not on purpose.
He's just gonna give you a look.
We didn't do it on
Okay.
purpose.
yeah. I mean, we don't know if that was going to happen, if the fucking thing got removed, or if whatever that fucking thing did had some sort of backlash that destroyed the clock tower. I don't know magic.
Would we be able to see the base from the bastion?
Probably, but you're a lot closer to it right now than you are to the Bastion.
I'm just worried about us getting having the blame put on us, and then suddenly we're stuck in a crowd of people who are justifiably wanting answers.
It's not the first angry mob I've had to deal with.
Yeah, but I don't think this is an angry mob that you can just get away with disintegrating.
Bowsy just gives you a weary smile.
Bowsy, I will shoot you.
But can you stop me from disintegrating them?
Please don't make
All right,
jokes
so what
Let's-
like
does it do?
that.
Let's not disintegrate an entire crowd of people in broad fucking daylight, Bowsy.
How
I mean, I
about we
guess
stop
we-
talking?
Don't.
Let's make a decision. Where are we going?
Up to them.
Brimstone?
I guess. No matter what caused it to disappear, I don't know if that's immediately relevant to our report, as we were only asked to investigate what was inside of it. Find out later and then report back if we have to.
Brimstone,
Mm.
as part of your perception and your general awareness of such things, you feel the brand getting hot.
Don't like that.
And everyone can more or less see and hear as the brand starts to sizzle against your skin.
Is that okay?
Is is it enough to cause like actual damage at this point, or is it just enough to indicate that there is a fiend nearby?
I mean, only one entity when you're near them actually makes it burn hot enough for it to cause damage.
Okay.
But the fact that it's lighting up like this period means that it's definitely something more than just like a tiefling.
Is it as intense as it would have been when I was close to the Morezi?
Not
Or
not
would I
that
have-
intense. I mean, it does.
Okay.
I'll say this: the power of the fiend doesn't really determine how much it burns. It's the proximity to it that
Got
determines
it.
that.
It's just it burns more in the presence of Ataraxes, given
Mostly just because your own
The
anger
me-
makes it burn harder as well.
okay, but also just Brimstone will just assume he has some control over it to make it do that. Okay. Would Brimstone have any knowledge of how close he has to be for the brand to activate? In this way?
How close you have to be? Doesn't happen that many times.
Yeah, so
You know, you generally have to be within around 100 feet of something for it to actually start to do this.
Okay.
I mean, particularly powerful entities like Ataraxes himself trigger it from further away. Like, even being within a
Right.
mile of him could trigger it. But, again, you would know if it was him because that is a different burn entirely.
Right.
It is concerning, though.
There's some kind of fiendish presence. Decently close. It's 100 feet.
Clock tower?
Clock tower's too far away, I think.
Yeah, that's
Is that-
about a 20-minute walk from your current position.
Yeah. If it was in 100 feet, we could see the base, or at least some of it, through the crowds.
Let's get moving as soon as we can.
Yeah. Starting towards the bastion.
Well,
Alright.
if that's proccing, then shouldn't we let Granum know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then let's
Mhm.
go.
Yeah.
Right, you all start making your way towards the bastion. As you're walking, Brimstone, the burning sensation does go away. You seem to leave the proximity of whatever it was detecting.
Whatever it is, close to the clock tower. Don't tell.
Alright.
I don't know.
As you all start making your way up the constructed Emerald hillside that is the actual Emerald Bastion itself, what would you all like to do? Because I know some of you specifically, I know you Dravinche, said you would want to look out towards the tower as you all were climbing up to that higher position.
Yeah, he would like to get the. Brimstone's the one that has the eyepiece, right?
I believe he
Or-
does. I think he turned it into his scope of his rifle.
Probably.
Do you have a spyglass in your inventory?
No.
And I think you probably turned it into the scope of your rifle.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Da Vinci
I mean,
asks for the spyglass, gets given a rifle. Oh,
And well, the scope can be removed. I mean, I don't really have that anymore. I kind of use it to make the scope, but it just kind of pops it off. Same concept.
It doesn't magnify as much now, and it actually has like an aiming reticle scratched into the glass surface itself. But-
well, he'll still try to
effective.
use that.
You can go ahead and make a perception check. It doesn't give you advantage, but I will consider the DC appropriately.
A 12.
Alright then. As you use it to look out in the direction of the clock tower, you see a glow. Like a very slight domed glow. You can't see any details besides that and the ant-like crowd of people around it.
There definitely seems to be something going on over there. I hope that old lady's alright.
Well, maybe we ought to.
How messed up would it be if that old lady was actually a demon in disguise and was working along with the Merazi?
I mean, theoretically possible. I would think my brain would have noted that, but I haven't really dealt with any demons in disguise.
You have, actually. It doesn't trigger as strongly when
Oh.
Bliss is wearing her disguise. But whenever she's been in her true form, you've been aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
things that can fully alter their shape as opposed to just magically disguise it seem to be able to mess with how the brand perceives things.
well, I mean, it's a limited run of experience, but it doesn't burn as bad as when Bliss. Or in Bliss.
Revenge, scope please.
Here you go.
I guess it's a perception check.
Yep.
I more want to see that glowy thing.
Alright, go ahead and roll perception.
13.
You more or less see the same thing that I described for Da Vinci, just what appears to be a glowing dome in the distance.
From this far away, can I tell, like, what kind of arcane bullshittery is over there?
No. It's a glowing dome. It's probably arcane, but you can't make out any details with this scope. Especially considering it has the crosshairs built into it, so that's kind of messing with how you're trying to, like, see patterns.
We're definitely going to have to investigate that once we hand off this report.
Yeah.
I was way too tired last night to even comment on that old lady.
Well, let's get this done and then we can take care of that.
All that glowing makes it seem like... Wasn't that Morezi thing doing a ritual?
It was.
I'm assuming this conversation is being had while you guys are still making your way up the bastion.
Yeah.
So if old lady is another beastie in disguise, do you think she went and finished it?
Possibly.
Wouldn't your brand have picked up on it if she were, though?
No, not necessarily. Like I said, when we're on Bliss, doesn't burn as bad.
Why does it burn around Blitz?
I mean, if she's not just a tiefling.
This is new
Is she
information for
not?
Failsy. Actually, this is new information for most of you.
Yeah, just. Is she not?
Elsie's really close to Brimstone now.
Like,
What's
while
it?
she's distracted, just take the scope back.
Yeah, what is she?
I don't fucking know.
He's
Not being a coy.
I realize he's being coy and a bit of a dick, but he actually does know, just for your own sake of knowledge.
Does he know? Yes. Does he remember? No.
Fair.
Is he
I'm
going
just
to
making
tell
sure you're
Failsy?
aware.
Probably not.
Elsie's now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, tell me.
Come on, you two. We need to. Time is of the essence. And Da Vinci is going to pick up his pace.
Alright then. You all finish making your way up to the top of the bastion. Sorry. And immediately, you can tell something is wrong. Because there are guards running around all over the place up here.
That's not
see-
good.
You see scribes moving around all over the place and guards keeping a constant vigilance over the location. In fact, as you all make your way up to the edge of the bastion, you see a squad of 4 guards already making their way towards your position.
Just reflexively, Brimstone heads to the front. And just... Alright, what the hell?
State your names and business, please.
Brimstone Calavius. We're here to drop off a report for Granum.
Da Vinci lost the Vran. And he's going to present the report and papers enlisted by Granum to investigate to investigate the clock tower. provided a report on our findings. It's unsure of why this has happened.
All right, the rest of you.
Elsie Zamoda, she presents a wasp head, since everyone's presenting things.
Cannibal Hell Wasp.
You see the guards express like entire like body language just like stiffen.
Yeah, that's technically part of the report, but I wasn't expecting, actual evidence.
Elsie was planning to eat it, but she forgot about it.
Fair enough.
Oh my gosh, she's just a whole hell wasp head, which is like the size of like a soccer ball.
I mean, it'd be a
And
lot
just-
to eat.
Crunch.
And then
I mean,
just,
it'd probably be okay.
and then for them wanting names and stuff, Morgan O'Brien. I was assisting in the investigation as, I guess you could say, a little extra muscle to deal with. And she points to the Hell Wasp head. Shit like that.
I see. Very well. We'll have to confirm your reports here. Can you make your way to the guard station with us?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Alright. You all will be led to one of these guard stations, which are large emerald buildings that are stacked to the nines with these guards and various... I always forget what these things are called. Arrow slits. Lining the edges of this building to form a defensive perimeter. You can definitely feel eyes on you as you are led closer to this building. Alright then. This is standard procedure right now. We've had a incident inside the Bastion, so hope you do not mind the 5th degree.
Understandable. Is
Is
everyone
everyone
alright?
okay?
Well, I'm sorry, we'll have to have a cleric on hand before any more words are said in this particular exchange.
Fair enough.
Why?
Fuck, someone died.
Right then. It takes a few minutes before anything else is said, but eventually a robed individual wearing the green garbs of one of the clerics of Graynham does actually make their way forward. And you see them already casting a spell as a circle starts to form around the party. We ask that you all do not resist this effect, and if you do, we will be fully aware and will be considering this a act of violence and treason. Is that understood?
Is this something... I'm assuming this is something that we're not allowed to lie through, and I'm bad at that anyway, so yeah, that's fine.
Yes, this is the spell Zone of Truth, if you're aware of its properties.
Yeah, I don't care what it's called.
I don't like this.
Alright.
Deal with it.
Does anyone attempt to resist the spell?
Nah, Morgan's
No,
not.
I got nothing. I don't got nothing to lie about. I'm bad at it anyways.
Da Vinci does have stuff that he could lie about, but he's not going to resist.
Alright.
Elsie doesn't like priests. She's resisting.
Alright.
Which was a wisdom check.
I had to pull
it's
it.
either wisdom or charisma. I don't remember
I
which.
believe it's a wisdom saving throw, but I'm gonna make sure.
No, I'm not sure.
Oh,
Zone of Truth is charisma.
Oh, Elsie's good at that.
So yeah, charisma saving throw.
1 second. Abuski. 17.
As you resist the spell, the cleric's eyes immediately turn towards you.
I feel like Brimstone just
That one
damn
there is purposely resisting this magic.
Failsy?
Failsy.
Apprehend them now. And those 4 guards are immediately going to attempt to grapple you, Failsy.
Oh.
Nope.
You can't even listen to a simple instruction.
What's Failsy's armor class?
16.
And I think.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, they fucking smacked me with something.
Yes, actually, but not a weapon.
4 pairs of fucking anti-magic cuffs.
Okay, then. But yeah, that was like a total 24 to hit. You feel something heavy and metallic slap against your back suddenly, and you are... Have you ever seen the movie, Doctor Strange?
Yes.
You remember that iron cage you put on the one guy? Where it, like, bent him backwards?
Oh, shit. Ow.
Yeah. You suddenly find your body wrapped in iron bands that lock you in place.
Oh, nice.
Explain, cleric man.
But
You were literally
resist-
just told that attempting to resist this magic would be considered capital treason.
You resisted the spell after something's already happened here that is like a fucking incident.
Who just did that? Who threw the thing?
One of the guards near you.
Failsy
It happened. It hit you from behind, so
Is this suppressing magic?
you're not sure. You can't move your hands.
He doesn't need to move hands.
What are you doing?
Failsy, don't do anything.
I was gonna spit a chaos bolt at him.
You can't
Can she
move your
see him?
hands to aim it.
I mean, I think she's spending a sorcery point to where she'd only need the material component for a subtle spell.
But you would also need hands to both interact with her arcane focus or use material components.
Actually, it's just one. Check the spell.
Yo.
I don't know if it has a material. It doesn't.
Vocal and somatic, but subtle spell makes it so I don't even need them.
Yeah. Yeah, subtle spell,
you're
you only need
going-
a material component. She's going to
So you're
Chaos
going
Bolt
to
the guard.
attempt to chaos bolt a guard.
It's
I
probably
mean, can she see him? Yeah, can she see him?
The one that attacked her, or the one that did this to her, no, because it hit her from behind and she can't turn her head right now.
I'm gonna blast her from behind. Either that or just throw something that I don't need to see at all, but that would just kill a lot of people.
Failsy, please. Just
If
calm
you're
down.
trying... Well, here's the thing. If he's using subtle spell, none of you know Felsy's doing this.
Also true.
I mean, if we
But,
could,
I mean,
if
yeah.
we saw Failsy visibly freaking out.
This is... I'm gonna say this above game. This is all happening in the same second.
Like, yeah, this is all like.
And
within
I'm also
something.
above game, just wondering what the fuck.
Playing character. I guess.
All right.
I don't know. Anyways,
So, what are you doing, Failsy? You can't see the person who actually did this to you right now.
She's gonna start counting down. 5, 4.
All right, as you are counting down, you do feel something else happen to you because counting down from 5 means another turn could be had.
true.
You are restrained, so this is with advantage. Alrighty then. You do feel something approach you from behind, and actually, they set something on your head. It doesn't like clamp around you, But you just feel something suddenly be placed on your head. You cannot currently see what it is.
Knowing probably what it is going to do, though, she's just going to launch her fucking acid ball straight at the priest.
It does not happen.
Of course it doesn't. I
'Cause
am.
I don't believe you can cast a spell high enough to counteract what this thing does.
Maybe not.
I don't think you can cast a 5th level spell, so...
No, not yet.
Alrighty then. So your spell fizzles before it even forms.
We are gravely sorry
You
for her
all speak-
behavior.
But this one...
Sorry? Could you please repeat that?
The guard asked, do you speak for this one?
Define speak.
Will you travel with them?
Yeah. Travel with her. I don't know what event has caused this shit to be in high alarm. Sure, whatever it is fucking awful. But I don't think she has anything to do with it.
Given resistance to
Does
these
not-
effects, it remains to be seen. The
In any
current
case-
occur... And Failsy, you could still speak, by the way, you just can't cast magic.
She's glowering at him.
Yeah, just letting you know that you didn't lose the ability to speak, you just can't cast magic right now. Last night at approximately midnight, the clock tower suddenly fell into the earth, and where it previously stood, a lake of blood formed. The defenses that arise around the Emerald Bastion fell. Our defense against magical infiltration is gone currently.
Fuck.
Okay.
That was exactly what we were going to warn about.
We should have done the report last night instead.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have.
We thought we were safe to wait. God damn it!
Anyways. No amount of lamenting can change what's already happened.
You know why your companion is attempting to resist telling simple truths in this if you are what you say you are. People who are sent in to inspect this and report.
So far as I know, she's had issues in her past that make her not trustful of authority at the best of times.
Especially religious authority.
Yeah.
And she's incredibly impulsive.
Nevertheless, Failsy,
No.
If this is the case, then I can't allow her in good conscience to enter into a place where we are guarding so closely if you are to make this report.
okay, so Failsy, do you want to go see if you can figure out what the fuck's happening at the clock tower? I think you're the best inclined to figure that out.
Sure, why not? It's better than being a bloody lawn ornament. With a funny hat.
I fail to see what of my words imply that she was permitted to go free. We were informed rather readily that you had just committed a capital offense.
Then are the rest of us permitted to enter the bastion?
I will send word into the Bastion and see what they wish done with you. Until then, I cannot trust any of you, given the one's actions.
I demand a trial by combat. Me versus you, asshole.
Shut up, Failsy.
You're bound, and without magic, you'd fail rather readily. And I have no interest in combating someone who is unwilling to follow simple instructions. The rest of you wait here. I'll return shortly. He just leaves the room. Yeah. Currently, you all are still in this. Now that you're looking around, definitely feels like an interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
With the single cleric and 3 other guards. Who do appear to be kitted out.
Kind of wonder if you're right on that.
Sorry?
The old woman.
Question. Have any of you been to the base of the clock tower?
You're asking this of the guards?
Yes.
One of them does step forward. Actually, I have.
Do you recall an old lady operating down there?
An old woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
He seems to be thinking. I know there used to be a groundskeeper there. I mean, I haven't been there in a while. I mean, before this all happened. I mean, she was she's a few months. Nice enough old woman. Didn't seem to do anyone harm. Seemed a little odd, but I mean, what groundkeepers aren't a bit odd?
Okay, thank you. I was purely asking due to a suspicion regarding the events that potentially led up to the tower becoming what it is.
She is currently unaccounted for. If that does anything for your concerns or suspicions.
Does.
Her as well as he actually looks over towards a small stack of papers that are in this room. As well as 174 other people. Who all also vanished last night.
What? Last night?
That's what?
Yes.
That's more concerning.
Yes, whenever the clock tower suddenly sunk into the ground, many people were pulled into the reservoir that became the lake that now stands there.
Fuck! Guys, we fucked up.
I'm curious to why you say that.
Because we
last night.
Sort of just looks between all of the two of you starting to talk at the same time.
Eventually, let Morgan go first.
After dealing with what we were dealing with, we had the choice to either go ahead and do our report last night, or basically rest up and do so in the morning, and we chose the latter, and it's looking like we should have gone with the former.
$74. You have reports on races?
I mean, we're still trying to account for all of them. So far, majority seem to be humans, some elves.
Any tieflings?
There aren't that many tieflings in the Bastion as it stands, but those that are here don't necessarily have much family, so that's the only reason we're able to figure out who those we've been able to figure out are missing.
Right.
I mean, I'm certain there are some among their ranks. But even then, we're still trying to pick the pieces up right now. This just happened. I don't necessarily know if you want to give your report twice, but if you want to say it currently under the air of complete honesty, we'll at least be able to confirm and back up your claims whenever they're officially made.
I can do that. Da Vinci is going to, while they have the time, flip open the report. He didn't seal it with wax. And just give a outline his report in a fact step-by-step analysis of the events that had transpired, leading them entering the clock tower, the events during the clock tower, rooms that they went into, what they had fought, and also outlining the pool of blood and the words that were constantly being chanted by the Merezi, as well as, of course, talking about the Merezi. And it'll finish up with and finally, at the end, when we had left, the old lady said that she would watch over the situation and walked towards the open door at the base of the tower.
Oh,
Any else?
that certainly
Anyone?
makes that seem pretty suspicious, given that that was I mean, when I knew her, that she was a frail old woman, could barely move.
It's just gonna be disabled.
She certainly moved around like a tottering old grandmother. Could have all been part of an act, though.
It's possible. You said the entity you fought was something called was a Merezi?
Yes.
And I don't know if that's title, name, or just what it belongs to.
The guard actually looks towards the cleric in the room. So they're going to make a religion check.
I also make a religion check.
Yeah, if you want to, though I think you already rolled for this and didn't get anything, so you won't get anything now.
I don't know if I actually rolled for what the thing was. Did I?
You were present when it was said previously. I think you rolled for it and didn't roll high enough. And then you rolled for a different thing and learned about what pit fiends are.
Don't know what a middle class demon is, or what a middle class fiend is, but definitely know one of the higher echelons.
To be fair, that's a pretty failsy thing. I don't care about
Bro.
the low end scum. Show me the big stuff.
Show me the big stuff. I want to eat that.
I'm gonna eat his brain.
The things Failsy could learn if she ate Arax's brain.
Too
That's
much.
assuming she got. Yeah. Just inflicts permanent madness.
I don't
Anyway.
really-
You don't feel like?
Again, Failsy's already half mad anyways, so you know it might. That would be funny, but fixed her.
Oh my god, I'm sane.
This is boring. Smash his head into a rock until
Madness, you can no madness inflicted. You can no longer feel strong emotions.
Yeah, madness inflicted. Your alignment is completely opposite of what it once was.
Oh God, lawful good.
Lawful good Failsy is terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Just Ataraxi's last fuck you. Just,
Right then.
you can go fuck yourself.
The cleric does tap their chin a few times in thought. Morezi are fiends capable of consuming the flesh of an entity they have killed to completely assume their form. Mannerisms, some form memories. It's not impossible to say that that old woman might have just been consumed.
Possibly, but
I mean, I did have some dealings with her in passing. She was a frail old woman who was rather shy. She's certainly not the type of person who would walk into a place as dangerous as that proclaiming they'd keep an eye on things.
Do you have a military service record of her?
No.
Would you be able to get
She's-
one?
No, she wasn't military.
She remembers an old war and it indicated she was military.
Well, I can tell you she's never been military.
maybe not here.
I believe she used to be a baker.
In other words, a lie fabricated to ease some of our suspicions.
We mentioned there was a shit ton of blood in there, and she said, it reminds me of the old war. And when we questioned her on that, she said she had a military background, pointing to...
Wait a minute.
Point at anyone. Pointing at the big gun.
Yeah.
What was it? Brimstone?
I don't know.
Brimstone questioned her, and she said that she was military, like him.
Yeah. I don't know if I have that kind of bearing or something, but that doesn't seem weird.
Well, you're a fairly recognized individual, Mr. Brimstone. At least
Oh.
in Grainham.
Congratulations, you're a celebrity.
Wouldn't say that, but there's some notoriety that comes with working alongside one of the Azamar of our chosen deity.
Yeah.
Sir Brimstone, do you vouch for her? Just gesturing
Failsy.
towards Failsy.
Can you at least control yourself until we get the fuck out of here?
Yes.
We'll go find some goblins for you to blow up or something. I don't fucking care. Just not these people.
If you insist.
I do.
Very well.
Touch me again and I'll turn its own into a puddle of goo, though.
I literally have to touch you to let you out of that.
I mean, if you try and restrain me again.
Well, I believe you can understand our caution at this moment. The cleric actually makes their way towards you, Failsy. Alright, this is going to get a bit personal. I hope you don't mind.
She does.
Yeah,
But-
the cleric just goes about releasing the various latches that keep this ensemble attached to you. Some of which are in awkward positions, but it also is an iron cage that completely conforms to your body, so it's not that surprising. Honestly, Failsy, if you had one of these things, you'd probably be pretty into it. But the situation, not as into it.
What's this thing called anyway?
This is simply called an iron band sphere.
I have to buy one.
You'd more have to have them made. If your party is properly commissioned by Graynham, and with Brimstone's presence here, I would not be surprised. Then you could probably enlist perhaps acquiring one,
Felzy gets a
or
faraway
at least
look.
purchasing one.
We'll see about that when it comes to him.
It's interesting. For something that completely enwrapped your entire body, when it's being held, it's probably about the size of a softball. And it does just look like a bunch of concentric interlocked iron bands just wrapped into a tight ball.
Oh, now I want one.
It's Bookball. Alright then. The guard should return shortly. Stretch your limbs a bit. I know it's a bit stifling to be in something like this.
I just felt like Thursday.
The cleric says nothing. And we're going to go ahead and take bio break here.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Back.
That did not go how I expected.
Nope.
I expected some amount of violence, but that was a lot more violence than I anticipated.
Nope.
But I should always expect more violence when it comes to Failsy.
Fair enough, but yeah, bio break, 5 to 10 people. Go, use washroom, refill your drink, grab a snack, whatever it is you need to do.
Felzy does not like the church, and she doesn't like the church demanding her to do things.
I mean... fair enough. Not technically the same church, but the same
It was a
front organization.
She doesn't even know what cleric this guy belongs to.
Yeah, you do. I literally described it. It's a Graynham cleric.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't even know.
PTSD freak out.
Yeah.
There was not logical thought in that necessarily.
It was just a church guy, and it's like, nope.
Yeah.
You want me to do
I mean-
what? No.
Don't resist this magic. We're telling you exactly what this magic is. Failsy, I don't believe you. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, yeah.
I don't blame her. I blame her a little bit, but not that much.
If I went with my gut, it would have been center fucking acid wave on self.
Don't mind it. You don't mind if I just go. You're not immune to acid damage, are you?
No, but I'm resistant. I don't
Really
think
tempted. I was really tempted to pull the sword. Failsy.
Failsy, I'll stab you with this thing I don't use.
But I know you don't like it.
Do you even know how to use
Jiggle
that?
it towards her. Yes.
Sorry, dumb question for Felzy. She's actually seen him use it, but it's like, it's been so long. It's like, do you even know how to use a sword? Which side's are sharp and which side's not? Watch, I don't think getting 2 levels of resistance gives you immunity.
No.
No.
I don't do immunity to damage. Unless you actually have immunity to damage.
Yeah, then no. Felzy does not have immunity. He just has redundant resistance.
Technically speaking, you're not even supposed to get resistance stacking, but sometimes I allow it.
Oh, I don't mean like resistance stacking. It's just she has resistance from living ooze, and then elemental affinity,
Yeah.
which the elemental affinity one is spending a sorcery point when she casts an acid spell. Gives her resistance to that damage type for an hour. Which is redundant, is she's already resistance to poison and acid.
Yeah.
And if I plan that out better, the moment that cage thing went on, it's like, nope, it just turned into a puddle of goo and slide away. So that would
The
probably
funny thing is that wouldn't let you escape it.
Just-
It would just turn into a ball around you. Because the iron bands of Balaro, which is actually what that item is called, don't have any restriction on types of creature that they can constrain, unless except for huge being the limit to how much it can wrap around.
Oh god, that thing would
Even if it were a slime, it could literally just completely restrain the slime.
I feel like there is something about that.
And it would depend entirely on if the creature has immunity to the restrained condition,
Yeah.
which I don't think slimes have.
At least
I'd have to look actually.
Yeah.
Black pudding. As no, it doesn't have restrain immunity. Or
Yeah, so-
paralysis for that matter.
Yeah, so you could literally Shibari a gelatinous cube.
Just fucking weird. Although I guess it could just be squeezed into a space tight enough that they can't get out.
Pretty much, that's how I would assume. Like I said, it would literally just wrap you up in a ball
You know.
and contain you. Because it's a magical item, it can't be eaten through by acid.
Right.
That said, it's like how she would have escaped the hat. I think they just put the hat on top of the bowl. What does that hat look like?
It's literally a little circlet. That's like, it's essentially a flower crown in appearance. But
Thanks,
the flowers are like silver and gilded.
thanks, I hate it.
This is what happens when it's Graynum. They have nature-inspired items. Sorry. Yeah, that's not a canonical item in D&D. That's a homebrew item.
Yep.
It just prevents its wearer from casting any spell of 5th level or below. Which they didn't know how strong Failsy was, but that was what they have on hand.
Fair enough.
Oh, good thing they didn't do this to Failsy yet. With her, if she had 9th level spells. She just clams.
Failsy just wants murder.
Oh no, I think if they did that at 9th level, there's a really brutal one at 9th level from her dark spellbook.
Hmm.
And she would have just clammed up for 24 hours. As she summons the apocalypse.
Summon the apocalypse.
That's literally the spell. It's. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this and 100 miles in every freaking direction and go bye bye.
I might not allow that spell because that sounds broken.
It's also a suicide spell.
That sounds like the spell that would be the ultimate fuck you and the horse you came in on.
Basically. Now he just removes 100-mile radius of existence.
I think it's called Apocalypse from the Sky. Quickly drifting around the book.
And what level is that?
Ninth.
Okay, so not completely unreasonable.
No, it's still pretty unreasonable.
Pretty unreasonable, but not completely.
You call upon the dark forces in all existence to rain down destruction upon all life, upon the land, in a 200-mile radius originating from you. All creatures and objects in the spell's area take 10d6 plus 30 fire and acid damage. This damage usually levels forests, crumbles mountains, and causes genocides. You take this damage as well.
Okay, so it's actually not that powerful. It's just an environment destroyer.
It annihilates a lot of.
That's again, that's a collateral damage spell, but that's not like literally as much damage as something like Meteor.
How big is the radius on that, Felzy?
200 miles.
200 miles, so that'd be a 400 square mile area.
What did I just walk back in on?
No.
Elsie contemplating the apocalypse.
Well, if it's a 200-mile radius, if we're talking square, that's like 160,000 miles.
Well, if it's a radius, it's also a circle, so you have to figure out the area of a circle that's 200, which I don't want to do right now.
But yeah, that
However, if I look it up in Google, it'll probably tell me.
it's like that center of the city is 1 minute of death to everything. Assuming Felzy somehow survives that. That's like all your NPCs dead in the city. Except for like the really strong ones.
Okay.
That said, I think they've actually nerfed a lot of the spells in this book and made them, at least damage-wise, a couple levels lower.
Calculate area.
Like 504 billion square miles. No, wait.
It would be 125,700 miles.
Yeah. I was looking at square
Area
inches
destroyed.
for some reason. Anyways, we don't have to worry about that for another
While.
few like 11 levels.
If you guys even get to the point of casting 9th level spells.
Oh, I won't.
Well, you won't know. You don't get that privilege.
Nope.
At least not naturally. I can't say that you won't get that privilege, period.
That would be concerning.
I mean, someone in this game has already cast a 9th level spell.
I will cast a 9th level spell. Real big gun.
It's Keta. Keta casts a 9th level spell.
It's just firing a howitzer.
Are we all back?
Yep.
Are we? Everyone good to go? Good still?
Yep.
All right then. If we're all good to go, let's roll back into things.
Yee.
So, Failsy, as you are permitted out of this, now that you're thinking about it, slightly more kinky torture device, you all wait a few more minutes before the original guard that departed returns. They look at the fact that Failsy is not bound up anymore and just give a very cautious eye to everyone else in the room. Alright then. I've been informed to take you all inside the Bastion. You'll come this way.
Lovely. Lead the way.
Right then. Yeah, he just starts leading you through the area of the Bastion, making your way around the various guard patrols that are currently flooding the various passageways, and pretty much anywhere you look there is someone either in guard's armor, a scribe's gear, a cleric, or something of those descriptions. But eventually you do make your way to the same meeting room where you've previously met with Graynham 2 times now.
Mm-hmm.
You are led inside, and you do see the man you know as Graynham sitting there, just hands steepled in front of his face as he's just sort of like resting his forehead against them. I take it you all have been informed.
Yeah.
Apologies for the delay and arriving on such unfortunate terms.
Well, go on.
I've-
Out with it.
I've compiled here a report, and he will slide the paper to the papers to Granum, but to leave a lot of the detail work out of the way, I'll leave this. A simple summary is that a demon that has that you may be aware of had enlisted other demon or other fiends, bizarre creatures, to abduct people, create a pool of blood inside the clock tower, and was chanting, was making chants to taint and defile the city. We thought we had stopped it. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Our quest was our investigation into the tower, however, was at least somewhat successful. Dravinci is going to, assuming Graynham's the only person there.
The guards that have been flanking you are still present.
Oh, then never mind. And and after investigations and fighting numerous demonic entities, he'll gesture to the wasp head. The portions of the clock tower ended up damaged, hence why it had stopped last night, albeit that's not too much of a concern at this point. And there is a sneaking suspicion that there was a secondary demon that had been in the area that was able to complete the ritual after we had left.
Possibly more.
I see. I can't fault you all. I assume you all had been under the assumption that after you dealt with what you saw in the tower, you thought it finished.
Yeah.
That was unfortunately the case, and it was rather late. It appeared as business that was best dealt to once all parties have been rested.
Tell me, Javinci. Did you notice anything else strange last night?
Can Dravinci insight as to what he's referring to?
Sure.
Damn it.
What do you think he's referring to? Because I won't give you a hint now.
Uh,
I will
I
say
think-
it has been mentioned in this session. That's the only hint I'll give.
uh, the only other thing that was rather strange last night was upon corroboration with the guard's statements, the old lady who was the groundskeeper of the tower had voluntarily went to enter into the tower after we had left. And this morning, one of our one of my companions here ended up being able to detect a demonic activity within the streets.
It's interesting. That's not what I meant.
Is it unusually warm today?
There's certainly a sensation of oppression in the air. No. What I meant is the simple fact that we lost time yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, we were in the clock tower for a lot longer than we should have been. We didn't spend the same amount of time, at least what felt like the same amount of time in there as we actually did.
Yes.
And I don't have a
I've
good
been-
handle of time. Traventure's got a better one, but shouldn't have
I
been dark when we
brokered
came
this-
out.
Yes. I brokered this topic with a few of my advisors, and none of them seem aware of the fact. But there was a distinct moment yesterday where we lost time.
Traventure, how long would you say we were in that tower?
Approximately 3 hours.
When we came out, it was dark.
With the short rest, you were probably in there for between 4 to 5.
Fair enough.
But by the time you went in there, probably around 1 o'clock, or pretty close to like noon around that day. You weren't really paying attention, and you know for a fact you could not have spent more than 5 hours in the tower.
That is something that I did notice. However, due to previous experience, I had with areas of high concentration of magic, like the clock tower. I had not thought it unfamiliar.
Well, it's not something that's ever happened here before. It is most bizarre. Well, there is some amount of good news at this moment. We have managed to contain that location and prevented it from growing any further.
Well, that's good.
Yes. As it stood, it was continuing to stretch outward and pull more of the city into it.
Random, I hate to ask, but do these guys absolutely need to be here?
The rest of you, you're dismissed. Go continue your patrols. You can see there's moments of hesitation within the guards, especially giving previous
Fairly.
reactions. Fairly.
Yeah.
They don't want to just leave you all alone with Grainum,
Mm-hmm.
but they do heed their command and they do depart. What is it you want to say?
What does Ataraxes want with this place?
That is a good question. And what I'm trying to wrap my head around.
I don't know. Did you piss him off? Seems like it's easy to do that. I pissed him off by being fucking born, I guess.
Maybe. As far as I can tell from his current movements, from what I've been tracking them, because whether or not you believe me, Brimstone, I have been trying to look into that for you.
Yeah, I believe
Obviously,
you on that.
Yes.
You got a lot of shit
res-
going on.
Yes. My resources at this moment are very limited. Or rather, they're stretched thin.
And how many fires we gotta fight? Yes, I blame you. This ain't helping.
You're not wrong. Oh, how I wish these other gods would actually help me fight these fires.
Yeah.
As much as I've come to dislike them, they would be a great deal of they could offer me a great deal of assistance. But they do not want to lift a hand outside of their own nations.
Well, on the topic of
He's looking
gods,
for something.
on the topic of gods, we are at least one step closer to bringing forth an ally. Is going to pull out the Rotor of Return.
So you found it.
Yes.
That's good. It's very good.
And we also got directions as to where we can find some of the other pieces.
Yeah.
Alright then. Brimstone.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm trying to look into this, but obviously the resources are scarce here.
Mhm.
But he's looking for someone.
One.
Yes. I believe it's a person. Based on what we've seen so far with the forces he's been trying to infiltrate into this place, it's been small sizes, covert agents, but specifically entities that abduct. Not things that sneak and steal items, but rather people.
Where are these?
Hmm.
Those are the demon we faced, at least. People. Take their identity.
Yeah.
Might explain why a bunch of people went missing yesterday. Could have been more of them. Being called
Casting
back
a
or
wide
something.
net.
Possibly.
I don't believe that's the case. As far as we can gather, all of the people who were lost last evening, they were innocent individuals. And you all actually can hear the popping of knuckles as you can see the backs of his hands growing white with tension. Innocent people of my city, stolen into their doom, right under my very nose.
I think he's taunting you.
Either that or some form of calling. If he were taunting me, he would present himself, but this almost feels... What's the word?
I think he's coding you.
Yes. Like he wants my attention.
And
I don't know why. I don't know who he's looking for.
I might be
Like-
half him, but I ain't got no idea what the fuck he wants. You
I have
know
some idea, but
you
I
know
can't say
anything
for
about
certain.
what or who he's looking for?
I have a couple of theories.
Alright.
Two individuals in particular. And he actually stands up, pushes himself up with the table, and makes his way over to a bookshelf in the room.
As he's doing it, just, oh no, it ain't me. Really wanted me, knows how to find me. I mean, kind of motions to the brand with his head. And like I can really get rid of this. No, that
No.
was the one.
I mean, we've talked at length about the fact that if he wanted you, he would simply be retrieving you.
Yeah.
No. He pulls out a specific book, a very old-looking tome.
Hmm. I don't
No.
know how old that book is, but I feel like this is far more concerning than I think it previously
recreation.
warranted.
It's a recreation of a book from... that was started before the Advent.
That's old.
It is a list of all of my children. Every Azamar born under my guidance.
So, what, you think he's trying to find one of your kids?
Yes. I believe this might be a particular vested interest for you all. Due to Keta. You know of her... No. Not Vivian.
Indra.
No. It's an Azamar that has not been reborn in a long time. I do not know why. But I mentioned her because you know of her race. What we
Yeah.
refer to as the Sublucidus.
Apparently, the old man had some hand in them coming about.
You're more aware of that than I was expecting.
Wait.
Very well,
Yeah,
that
we
makes
heard
things
about it.
easier to explain.
I don't remember.
You said an Asmar that hasn't. Like, Morgan's, like, her eyes are wide and she's putting things together. Is he after Sonoda?
I don't believe so.
Isn't Sonata technically an Asmar of Ignacia?
Yes.
From what
Granum,
you've,
please continue
from what you've
thought.
told me. Yes.
But yeah,
No.
sorry.
The creation of the Seleucidas.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joint effort between Ataraxes and one of my own Azamar.
Oh. Oh,
A-
that's fucked.
And Brimstone, you must temper your expectations when I say this, but as far as I was able to witness, it is true. The one woman Ataraxes ever considered to be an equal enough to love.
Alright, you're asking a lot of me to believe this here, but
She was the
Oh
Azamar
my.
gifted with the aspect of knowledge.
nah, okay, no, okay, I can believe that. Smug
Yeah,
fucking
he start-
bastard.
He starts flipping through the pages of this book. She's been reborn many times, and every time she is reborn, she always finds her way to him. But to my record, she has not been born in over 5 centuries.
Okay, hold on. Finds her way to him, as in, like, seeks him out actively, or he finds her?
One and the same, truly.
Or,
Happenstance sometimes. And that's only the times when I've been able to watch her passage. And he finally stops on one page. Her original name was Henrietta. She's had many names as she's been reborn many times. But Henrietta is the one she's always come to be known by after she finds her way to him and remembers her past. I don't know, but I think it might be possible that she might have been reborn, and he's trying to find her. How he would be more aware of that than I would, I don't know.
You said that there were two options, though. What's the other one?
Yes. This is the most likely one. I will say that. The other one is less likely, but
pause.
I know for a fact that for a long time there has been a demonic presence in this city that has harbored no malicious intent, so I have not acted upon it. It is another woman,
Yeah.
who I believe you might have some personal knowledge of.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe it's possible. However, for this scale of action, I don't believe he would take that for a single deserter. He has operatives that could see to a single deserter. This is a complete attempt scale takeover.
What if it's both?
And for that I have to... I suppose he could be hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm simply laying the options out before you, also that you know what is at stake here.
Pardon me a question, just as a curiosity.
Always so full of them, Travinche. Ask.
We left the clock tower at 9 p.m. Reports say that the pool of blood occurred at midnight.
It was around midnight.
Given the amount of time that it would have taken for us to get here, and the perceived notion that the issue was mostly dealt with, could we have been able to even have acted upon and prevented this in time?
If what you mentioned is correct, this older woman, another Morezi, who simply waltzed in behind you and completed that ritual. Likely, yes. But you had no way of knowing that.
I mean, like I told them, the brand lets me know when demons are near, whenever fiends or things like him are near, but I don't think it works if they manage to hide themselves.
Yes. I believe he might be using Morezi specifically because they can hide from you.
Maybe. I don't know.
They can hide from most infernal detection. Because when they assume the form of a mortal, they stop being a fiend. Even magic can't tell the difference between them and whatever they once were.
I just want to know. This seems like a drastic move. I mean, yeah, he's an arrogant fucking asshole, but he's not stupid.
Which is why I said this doesn't seem like something he's doing as a takeover. This seems like something he specifically did to slight me and draw my attention. Perhaps even draw all of our attentions, though. I'll admit the specifics of this particular event feel very particular to me.
I don't know if any of the other gods would be as bothered by other people being taken, at least not so much on a personal level. I mean, I haven't really had dealings with many others, personally.
Venti and Terrestra don't keep civilizations. They wander constantly.
Right.
And Aquila and Ignesia, both of them would fell portions of their own nation if they thought there were demonic infestation. They would raise cities for the sake of personal protection. And they have in the past.
Yeah. Even then, you'd think you'd just spirit people away in the night, not necessarily make such a grand display of it, unless it's specifically to draw you out. I don't know. And whatever it is, I don't know if it's good. I mean, it's my father. Of course it isn't. But maybe he is looking for one of your children. Maybe he thinks you know something he doesn't.
Surprising as it might be to say, I know many things he doesn't. As much as he presents himself as being a mastermind, he does not hold the whole deck.
Yeah, that sounds like that'd piss him off.
Well, as this stands, we are containing it. I'll have to see what
Is
I can
there-
do to actually repel it.
Is there anything we can do to assist?
He contemplates for a moment. And then actually looks at you, Failsy. Can you contact your people?
I'm sure I can.
The aid of those from the Zemoda's temple would be greatly appreciated in repelling demonic infestation. They've always held a special connection with spiritual types of magic. And this type of infernal infestation stems from one of a spiritual nature. We can quiet the restless souls that are currently being used to fuel that bloody lake. Then I believe it should go away.
Or if it's some kind of gateway.
Nothing's come through it yet.
I mean, maybe it only works one way, or only at a certain time. I mean, the whole fucking tower fell. There ain't a trace of it as far as we know. Might be under the lake, but
As far as I can gather, it's actually just the fact that a sinkhole opened. We haven't had, for obvious reasons, we've not had anyone investigate that. Things to see in due time, though. But yes, Failsy, if you could potentially contact your people, have them send some of theirs to ours, it would be of great assistance.
I can get right on that. Shouldn't be
I'll have
too-
one of our scribes lend you an orb of sending so you can make it quicker. I'm sorry, what were you about to say?
Nothing.
I find myself most
Oh,
suspicious of you.
Everyone does, for some reason.
Well, you started to say two, so I thought you were going to give stipulations to your assistance.
No.
Very well.
with these protections going, what does that mean?
The protections that I had put in place by several arcane practitioners of old were ones to prevent any low-level infernal entities from being able to enter the city outright.
Right.
Anything below almost Ataraxis himself could not walk these grounds.
Wait, then how?
Failsy sort of,
Let's go then.
Failsy sort of
How
jumping
did-
on top of the head of the Hell Wasp. As in, like, what the fuck's this doing here?
That is the concerning thing.
Yeah.
But this is a protection that has been erected for a very long time. Particular
Right.
individuals could likely have found ways around it. And because we
Careful.
suspected that that might occur, that is why the second protection was installed. A complete shutdown of any ability to move via arcane means in or out of this city.
And are both protections down now?
Yes.
I'd imagine they're not easily fixed.
We would need to find practitioners on the same level that erected them in the first place. And I don't have many of those left.
I'd imagine those that live elsewhere would not be so willing to come without sufficient reason.
Coin is usually enough, but just not many of them remain.
I don't imagine. I mean, I don't know how long it takes to get to that level, considering, well, just kind of gestures to himself.
Depends on the particular practice. For some of them,
Okay.
years. Others, less. But arcane manipulation is something specific to every individual that practices it.
The whole teleporting business is kind of outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Teleporting's bad for you, you know.
It can be. I don't personally enjoy the sensation myself. As it stands, though, besides requesting assistance from the Zemotus Temple, I don't believe there's much else that I can really request of you all. Each and every one of you already has many things on your own plates. As much of a failure of a leader as I am currently, I can keep my own people safe and in line going forward. I can fix this myself.
Maybe you should start having your people try to find connections between the people that are missing. Maybe there's some common thread there.
Wild Andy appeared. Well, I'll look into it. We're already constructing a full registry of as many of those people as we can.
Yeah, you do.
There might be some thread of connection. But
I
most
just-
of them just seem to be passers-by.
I mean, I wonder if it might have just been random passersby because they weren't of note. I mean, if he's got more of these Morazi's, maybe he's kidnapping them so they can adopt forms, hide elsewhere.
I don't know. I personally believe it's simply that everything that falls into that lake is making it grow larger.
Possible.
Something just.
I don't know.
Felzy just remembered something. She's digging in a pouch for something now. And pulls out a small pearl. So, would this help?
What is that?
Something I got from Game Master once.
Eyes it suspiciously.
It's a pearl of purity.
I believe those are used to make holy water. It certainly would not be remiss if you don't mind parting with it.
You just toss it to him.
He catches it.
Felzy used it to bless a big creature to death.
Yeah.
She used it to punch something's insides out.
While Brimstone was hacking away at it.
Yeah, using a sword. You guys, you do have that.
Yeah, it's my magic. It's my magic sort of stuff.
I don't. Andy's talking in the chat. I don't think they've actually even gone through your stuff to look at what's in your inventory.
Oh.
Sort of just sitting in the corner. We forgot about it.
Someone's carrying it. But we just sort of brushed that off as unimportant for the moment.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Anything Fuzzy wants from Keta is the braces, but they're gone now.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
they were on Keta's person. Which means they're also unfortunately gone, period, right now. I'll explain later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Wait,
What
are
is
you saying
your
that
next step?
Our
I think-
next
Blossom
Our
Kingdom?
Yes, our next step is to go to the Blossom Kingdom and try to get in contact with either Fuyumi or Akari and see about if either of them knows about a entity called the Painter.
Weird that the painter would be involved in this somehow.
The Painter is, as we were informed by the being Necessity, mm, apparently
Things
is
grow
the
more
creator.
complicated.
Sorry?
You just said things around you grow ever more complicated.
Is supposedly the creator of the the blade that we took when we were in Failhaven, as well as they contain the piece of Altia called the or the Wheel of Stars. I was reading my notes a little dyslexic.
Piece of memory.
So we have two reasons to go to track down this painter.
I am actually aware of that individual.
Wait, so like this wheel thing is a part of this thing, like the rotor was a part of Necessity?
Yes.
Ipso facto, we take that, we killed it. That just feels fucked up, personally, but this one might also be a bastard, considering, the
No,
sword.
The-
memory. The Wheel of Stars is a part of memory. Remember that giant mountain? No, that had since it has since lost it and is being held by the painter.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I do
yeah,
know
Okay.
of this painter. Assuming we are thinking of the same person.
Oh.
We might be. Please expound.
Da Vinci, I'm sure you would be aware of this. But the rest of you, I don't know if you would know this type of entity. A kitsune.
Is there any kind
Yes.
of check that we can do to see if we know what a kitsune is?
Either a religion or arcana check of your choice.
Would it be a history check for Fauzi? Being a part of the same nation?
They're not in the part of the nation you're from.
I'm gonna go Arcana because the modifier's higher for me.
Fair enough.
Fair.
So I would still say religion or arcana because they're not actually in the same part of the nation where Failsy is lived in.
I mean, it's all the same modifier.
21, by the way, is what I got.
I see.
I'll wait for others to roll if they're going to.
8.
Failsy, no.
Is that kind of food?
A what?
Is that a kind of food?
I think that's
No,
just Brimstone refusing to roll.
Yeah, just a what?
So this kind of makes sense. Morrigan, through your own just passive knowledge, and probably from talking about this type of story with Travinci a little bit in the past, you're aware of what kitsune are, fox spirits that tend to exhibit some rather strange and interesting powers, and many of them are very individual in what they can do. But all of them have some strange connection with spiritual magic.
Yeah, so she's just like,
Yes.
Morgan just kind of like nods to just indicate that she knows what a kitsune is, and that's it.
Yes. They are a kitsune. Oh. Yeah, you found it. But the strangest thing is the particular ability they possess. Being able to extract aspects of elsewhere and even pull pieces of soul out of entities, be them willing or unwilling, and craft items with them.
Don't like that.
It is a most bizarre and unnerving talent.
Yeah, I would fucking say so.
Yes. I would heavily recommend caution if you do intend to visit that entity.
Yeah, I like my soul firmly in my fucking body. It's already tried to leave.
A few times.
Oh.
What?
We've had discussions about this before, Brimstone.
I don't remember this.
You were very
it-
drunk at the time.
That was probably the night I decided to stop drinking. Or the night
Probably.
before the day. Yeah.
Yes.
I only remember the one, but okay, I'll take your word on it.
Well,
Don't know the full
Hopefully,
details of it, but you've told me a bit. I assume there's more, given that you have terrible luck.
hopefully Akari can at least put us on a good footing with them.
I actually believe if you mention a car, you'll probably be damned by them.
Oh, that bad, huh?
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind.
I don't know, the painters never liked the Mistress of the Sun.
Are they heliophobic?
Give me a moment to understand what you just said. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't. I think Patton taught me that one.
Haven't seen Patton in a while.
Yeah, I don't know where the
Sure.
short little motherfucker is.
He's surely around somewhere. That is beside the topic.
Yeah. Anyways, Painter,
That's-
don't mention that person.
Unless you wish to incite anger, but I don't know why you'd be seeking that.
You know, I just
What?
kind of tend to do that by existing.
Who's the curry again?
Mm.
Akari is the head of the Council of the Draic Empire.
Right. You think I should
And
know that?
her official title is Master of the Spirit's Flame. I worked for her for a while.
Well, that's pretentious.
It is not pretentious, it's accurate.
Just
Her
nods.
own manipulation of fire rivals Ignesia's.
Oh. Huh.
And if you ever so much as irritate her, eventually
Is
she's
she
gonna
gonna
leave
light,
it at that.
Is she gonna light me on fire? Because if she's gonna light me on fire, I can fucking do that myself.
She will likely light your soul on fire. She possesses the ability to literally burn a soul out of the cycle of reincarnation.
Holy shit!
So,
So she's
if
really
we
good.
do
With...
get to meet her, be on your best behavior.
I'm wondering if. I might have questions. Respectful questions. I can stand
Always
being
respectful.
regular burned. I mean, I can stand being regular burned. I don't know about the soul burning thing. Yeah, I'd rather not find out. Anyways, what about the other one? I already forgot the name.
You're referring to Fuyumi?
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
know less of her personally.
Fuyumi, Mistress of the Frozen Valley. She originated from the Jaloon Tundra and is what is referred to as a Yukiona.
Explain.
Type of ice spirit.
Got it.
Yep.
So she can freeze my soul.
More your body.
She's not as powerful as Akari, but she does have her ways.
Okay, well, I like the cold less, so I will not make her angry either. Then again, I don't really know any of these people, so I'm just gonna try to just shut the fuck up.
I'm beginning to
Wise
sense-
words.
I'm beginning to get the sense that almost all the women in the Drake Empire will just kill you.
To be fair, most
Uh,
women, wherever you go, have the power to simply kill you if you slight them in the wrong way.
That's true. I mean, at least Vivian's direct with it. She just tries to beat my head in.
Yes. She has always
She
been very
succeeded
direct.
once. Yeah. Gee, I wonder where Keta gets it from.
But that is indeed our next destination. As well as we have other tasks that are relevant in the area.
Need to see if we can find a healer for Sonata.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm already contacting people back home, I can have them send some healers.
Might not be a bad idea. I mean,
Have them work
who
together.
knows what it's gonna take to fix that.
Having them work together might yield the best possible result. I'm not opposed to it.
Possible. Well, on that note, then, if you're going to be leaving, I know they'll take longer than a few days to arrive here. Sonata and her kin. I can keep them under my protection.
That'd be preferable. I got enough people trying to find enough people who ain't really not much. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Fucking.
As much as I would love to show them the beauty of the Blossom Kingdom, it would be best for their safety.
Maybe later on this. It doesn't seem like everything's trying to fucking kill us at once. You know, if that ever happens.
Need to do what's best for her.
Yeah. Keep him here.
And as it stands, it's not like you all can't just come back in a moment.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Hopefully that won't be the case too long. It's one inconvenience I'd love to offer you.
Yeah.
And likely
no
the
kidding.
first one I'll see about reinstalling. I'm sure that there are
Right.
still some arcane practitioners in these lands that can direct such things. I believe in your previous report you even told me of one that still lives.
I'd call it live there.
Yes, Tim. We could actually go and contact him.
I'll have to line up quite a few sending stones for you all then.
Or I could teleport a letter to him.
Wait, you can teleport an object?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Wouldn't it just be easier to just send the fucking rain
Se-
words? Sending?
Sending does have limitations. That sending a full letter and some potential means of incentive or transport would be able to fare better.
Perhaps start with sending first and then work from there.
Besides, if you send him a letter, he'll probably get lost in his
Cats.
tower.
Little cats.
And you probably never see it because paper everywhere.
I guess it's better to keep cats than dogs, considering.
Just
Anyway,
splash
we
over
have-
to the tower as this is just a cat with a newspaper.
Wow.
Licks its paw, flips the page. Flashback
Yeah.
to the party.
Also, he doesn't have eyes.
I mean, I'm
Doesn't
pretty sure you
stop.
can still see.
He was a walking, talking skeleton.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I've met Tim before.
Like I said, it's probably a good thing he has cats instead of dogs.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Maybe that's why he keeps cats. Anyway,
I think he's always just liked cats. But fair. Well. Then I shall lend you all some orbs of sending. You can send out what information you wish to. Send letters if you wish to as well. I'm going to continue trying to keep things in line here and making sure no more of the populace fall prey to this. Until then, make ready your preparations.
I'm deeply sorry that our tardiness caused this.
It was not your tardiness that caused this.
It certainly didn't help.
No amount of expediency in this matter would have prevented this on your end.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you had had an ability to see through such deceptions, but very few individuals of this plane have that ability. None can fault you for that.
I guess we shouldn't be going around just trusting little old ladies then.
I need to let Sonata and her mother know what's going on.
Yeah, you guys can do that. I gotta go do something.
Yes. Alright then. If you would meet me once more before you depart from the city, we can go over what we all know at that point. At least you'll leave knowing the full stakes of what is currently at hand.
Certainly.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I'm very sorry that you all have been pulled into this. I have done my fair share of placing burdens upon you all where I've not meant to.
We also put it upon ourselves.
Perhaps.
To be fair, even though we didn't prevent this from happening, it could have gone a lot worse. For all we know, if all this hell was and that first Merazi had been there, there could have been a lot more casualties.
Yes. I actually believe, given what I experienced on the outside, if you had not done what you had done, we would have likely been completely consumed without anyone being aware of it. That lost time might have been something they planned to let that ritual spread to its complete and fullest before we could even attempt to react.
So,
And it may be possible that Araxes has some piece of Altea.
Some manipulation of time.
It's the only thing I know that would do it, but I'm sure it ain't the only one.
Alright then.
so
He sort of rubs his chin. You're about to say something? I'm sorry.
something that's been bothering me for a bit. Back home, we don't really have lakes forming in the middle of things, but isn't this city like built up on tunnels and stuff? How much of that is
No. This city is built up on a single solid foundation of emerald.
so there's nothing under your streets?
Some level of sewers, but we've already addressed those and ensured that they're not spreading. As I said, we've contained this. And besides, where the clock tower was not a residential area.
Your city's weird. You need more tunnels.
It's built in such a way that, truthfully, we only build what we need. Because the stone foundation which we're building on and through is very difficult to mold and move.
I was just thinking back to her hometown city bubble thing that's underwater, which is just tunnels.
It's constant tunnels, ever expanding tunnels. You need a house, here's a tunnel. It's got a bulb at the end of it. That's yours. So much glass. Someone tings a tuning fork on a wall. Everyone dies. Very well. No, that is not going to be an issue. Though I do appreciate your concern in thinking about the structural analysis of the city in such a way. If there is anything any of you need, let me know. I'll do what I can to see them met. Until then, I need to get back to picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have many more preparations you need made.
Yeah.
He gestures for you all to make your way to the door. As he makes his way back down to where he was seated when you all first entered the room.
If it's alright, I'd like to go ahead and inform Cadence about what's going on.
Go.
That's perfectly alright.
I just
Right.
bring that up because I was pretty sure that Cadence, Leonel, and Sonata are basically staying on campus in the Bastion.
Pretty much, yeah. They are provided rooms. You guys just decided not to stay in the Bastion, even though you were provided rooms.
I don't think Felsy's welcome at the Bastion.
Not right now. Not right now.
Yeah.
Because you did, by all accounts, commit treason.
It's basically just Brimstone vouching for you and also Granum like, no, these are actually legit. Is like the only thing that's keeping you from the dungeon, probably.
Pretty much.
And I'm sure
Before
Granum's
you
like,
leave
oh my god.
Before you leave, Falsey, that crown is removed from you.
I thought I took that off already.
You never said that. So I'm mentioning it now. You said it wasn't your style, but made no mention of actually taking it off. Right? You all are provided with a couple of sending orbs to send whatever messages you would want to. And Motogun, you are led to where Sonata, Cadence, and Leonel are. So you can let them know what's going on.
Yeah, and I don't imagine that needs to be RP'd out.
No, we're going to be ending session for tonight now because this did go a little bit longer than I expected it to.
Went our standard session length.
I more meant I expected to cover more of other things. But roleplay happens.
Yeah.
It always happens a lot. Nothing wrong with that, though. But yeah. So, keep in mind whatever messages you would want to be sending out. Whatever things you would want to be physically sending away. Things you wish to tell others. And what you wish to see accomplished in the next few days before you depart. Because we will be beginning next session with you all on the road again.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So whatever you're doing in the interim, let me know in the interim. Because I would like to keep things moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a change, I'd like to keep things moving.
Right.
Alrighty then. But yep, for now, that's a wrap.
Alright, so very quickly before we end stream, does anybody have anything they need to or want to announce, promote, or shout out?
Monster Hunter Stories 2 is really good. I'm gonna play some of it.
Nope.
I'm good.
Am I allowed to?
Absolutely.
Hi. It's been a while.
Wow!
I just want to promote my friend Will. He is taking commissions. He's a very wonderful artist. His Twitter is Will with one L. Is your thrill. Very very wonderful art, and he's actually collaborated on some pieces that I have had done. He's absolutely great. Please go commission him, and please go look at his art. It's great. I can't expound his benefits enough.
Nice.
Yee. Alrighty. If shout out to a good game and promoting a good friend's art is it, I think we are ready to wrap up. Okay, so if everybody wants to say goodnight, we can do that.
Oh, nah.
Good night.
Oh, wait. I tired ADHD brain. Sorry. One last thing though. If you enjoyed this and you want to find out what happens next, you can come back to this same channel Saturdays at or around 8 p.m. EST for more of the Scattered Realms. And if you like at least this group's vibe, but you want something a little more modern setting, join us on most Thursdays at or around 7 p.m. EST for our modern setting campaign, the Ada Project.
You always say it with so much concern, even though you haven't said it wrong in a long time.
I want to make sure I get it right every time now.
Fair.
But, yee. Sorry, I'm tired. Brain going 9 different directions at once.
Ah, yes, the brain as it collapses into a neutron star.
Eh. But yes. Now with that, we can all say our good nights. Was somebody else trying to say something?
No, I just hit my desk.
Oh no.
It was just with my hand. It's fine.
Ah. But yes. So all that having been said, if everybody would like to say, if anybody wants to say one final good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Sleep.
Yes.
Sleep.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you when we see you next.